Have you experienced imposter syndrome, falling short of achieving goals, or feeling icky about sales, or even having success without any fulfillment? Not to worry. These symptoms are experienced by business people and leaders all the time. And experienced business experts, personal development experts, are regularly guiding successful entrepreneurs, women leaders to navigate a path to that authentic, personal, professional, and profitable growth. And why do I say not to worry? Because we have three experts here today who are so anxious and ready to share their wisdom with you to help you navigate that path to personal, professional, and profitable growth. So let's say hi to them. Hi, Dr. Leah.
Hi, Laura. My name is Dr. Leah Abney. I'm a life and business coach. I can be followed at leahabneyllc.biz, and I hail from Hepzibah, Georgia.
All right. Welcome, Dr. Leah.
Thank
And
you.
hi, Karen.
Hi, Laura. My name is Karen Kessler, and I am enjoying Ontario, Canada right now. And I am a speaker, a trainer, and an author, and I can be found at bigbluedoor.space.
Great. Thank you. And hi, Jennifer.
Hi, Laura. I'm Jennifer Mitchell. I'm an executive coach and a business consultant with the added twist of being a medium. My website is jennifermitchell.me, and I'm based in Sydney, Australia.
Well, welcome, experts. And we are a global set of experts today. And I want to jump right into our topic and get to the advice you have for our viewers about how they can set on their path to their personal, professional, and profitable growth, especially if they're, they have those goals and they have struggles and they need some support. So, Dr. Leah, what advice do you have for our viewers today?
Yes, Laura. There are three key steps that the audience can take. And my advice for them, if they are finding themselves being stuck, because 97% of people do not accomplish their goals, believe it or not. And so the three steps that I have is the first one, which is really simple, is you do it small. You do not have to do it big. Identify one thing that you want to do and accomplish. And that one thing, it will help you feel gratification as you are accomplishing that goal. The second step that I have for you is to write it down. The more that you see it, the more that it's in front of you, the more likely that you are going to accomplish that goal. And all of us have this one little small thing that we're always looking at every day. And guess what? You can put that goal as a screensaver on your phone, and that way you see it every day. The next one that I have for you, the third step is have somebody that you can be accountable to. When you have somebody that can walk you through that process, you're going to find that you're not alone. And then also, you're more likely to accomplish the goal.
I love these steps because they really help someone win, right? They're not hard, and yes, they do work if you work them. So thank you for those. That was really awesome guidance. And I'd like to go over to Karen and ask you, what advice do you have for people to get further along on their personal, professional, and profitable growth?
Oh, thank you for that. It's one of the things that we find with people when they're looking to sell their ideas, influencing other people, or stepping up as an entrepreneur to close that sale. I often hear from people that they shut down just at the time they need to show up the most, right? They want to love to sell as much as they love to serve. And the biggest piece of advice that I can have is get to know how you buy and other people buy, and understanding if you can pace someone through that process, then they always feel like they're being cared for in that process. And you can be more confident when you're leading that inner buying cycle. So by the time you're talking to someone, they already know they want something. They're collecting data. They figure out what's important to them. Then they want to look at options before they decide to buy. And when we can get to know this process and pace someone through it at their pace, You can feel so good about being there with them. Even when they decide to buy with you, it can be like a yes, and you know you've got a win-win.
I love this. I'm like putting it together with Leah's advice of setting that goal, being accountable to somebody, and then yours is, take a look at that process. That's about them. Take your eyes off yourself and put it on them so that you can really serve instead of, do that icky sales, what people think of sales is great. And then, Jennifer, I wanted to hop over to you and say, what guidance do you have for people to further their path of personal, professional, profitable growth?
I'm really adding on to what Leah and Karen have said, in fact. And I believe change can happen in an instant, especially for senior leaders, in fact, anyone. To add on to that, it's about taking 100% personality, responsibility for who they are being and where they are now, and stopping and breathing. And the fastest way to get to this is to clear the layers and blocks that have been holding them back by tapping into higher intelligence. They get to breathe, they get to relearn and reclaim their life, relationships, and more importantly, themselves, and end up even being more successful in their personal lives and in their work lives.
I think that word responsibility brings up a lot of resistance. Can you talk more about what does being 100% responsible for who they're being mean and where they're at?
It means they're taking ownership for some of the mistakes they've made, in actual fact. So they're looking at who they've been in certain situations, why they might be feeling very successful on the outside, but totally unhappy on the inside. So it's taking responsibility for who and where they are now and how they're feeling about that and the actions they've taken in the past.
I love this because it takes us out of denial and puts it right into those two steps that are two pieces of advice that Leah and Karen have offered, because you can only do those, setting your goals, starting small, writing it down, being accountable if you are 100% being responsible, right? And then you take your eyes off yourself and you're 100% responsible for who you're being in the sales process as well. And if you can clear that way, the layers and blocks to that, wow, you really ignited them to set them on their path to the personal and professional and profitable growth they want. So what a power team the three of you are with offering your advice and your wisdom. So I'd like to know a little bit more about each of you. Let's go back to Leah. Tell us about who do you work with and what do you do with, what are you passionate about doing with them?
Yes, I primarily work with women who are in CEOs, or if they are the strategic planner in an organization or in corporate America, as well as entrepreneurs, small business owners. So I do like working with those particular groups. And one of the things I like to do when I'm working with them is to, number one, identify any barriers that is preventing them from accomplishing any goals. And those barriers could be something that is personal that may be preventing them from accomplishing goals, whether it's a mindset or if it's resources that they're looking for that they don't know how to tap into. So just being able to introduce them to and think through how they can move forward in accomplishing their goals. Another thing that we try to do is I work with them in doing an assessment. The assessment allows them again to identify any resources, who they want to connect with, and then where can they connect with those individuals to ensure that they're accomplishing the goals that they want to achieve.
It's powerful to have an assessment so people can learn and see, kind of like what Jennifer was saying, they have to know themselves and get rid of the layers that take responsibility. So I love that. And that you can help them really create their vision, get to their goals. So tell us, how did you even come to this work?
As a person who likes to keep moving in my life, I did found one point where I was struggling and I was actually going through a divorce. And I was like, what am I going to do with my life now? Who am I? And what am I purpose for? So as I navigated through that, I found that there were some key things that really, really helped me. And during that time, I ended up drawing people who were interested in achieving the same thing. And so I found that I was able to help them through the process of getting over the hump of some of the challenges that they were faced with, connected them with the right resources so that they knew that their lives were just not over, that there was so much more that they could accomplish, and that what they were going through did not define their whole entire life.
Oh, that's great that you're able to transfer your success to others by, helping them through tough times like you were. So thank you. Karen, I'd like to hop over to you and ask you, tell us a little bit about what you do and who you work with.
So I love to work with high integrity founders, basically people that are unwilling to give up their own integrity for more success. They want to find a way to bridge that together. And they're often looking at moving into providing more. And so the ticket price is going up, but then they're feeling bad about that. And they want to make sure that stays in high integrity, or they're even ready to start bringing on teams that are going to sell for them. And like, how do you make sure that's happening? So the high integrity sales roadmap gives the 9 areas to go through to check to make sure that everything is in place. It's teachable. All the check marks are there so that every client who's considering coming on with them really feels like they've started the process as they mean to go on, right? They know they're going to be cared for through the whole process, which leads to having clients for longer, better testimonials, better referrals.
Wonderful. Well, thanks for serving that community of high integrity founders. And what brought you to this work?
Oh, 2 things. One, when I was young, I could sell anything to anyone, right? It was just really easy to do when I was doing it for somebody else. When I became an entrepreneur and needed to sell, I shut down. Like I just closed up inside. Like suddenly, if that money was going straight into my pocket and I wasn't selling for a charity or for something else, couldn't figure it out. I learned from other people and they tried to talk me into selling in that way, the high pressure sales, that this is just the way it's done. And oh yeah, you are selling his service. And it broke my heart. And so when I found other people who had figured some of this out and I was able to add in more, it just feels great. And now we've tested it. We have not-for-profits who are using it. Like it's just amazing to be able to feel really aligned and help other people be aligned too.
Oh, beautiful. Congratulations. And Jennifer, tell us about who you work with and what you do with them.
So my clients, you've probably seen them. They're very successful. They're leaders in their organizations, whether it's their own company, like a family business or a big corporate. They look super successful. They're achieving all their goals. They're hitting their bonuses. They're having this great, shiny life on the outside. But you can see that they're really unhappy on the inside. They may be not having good relationships at home. They might have addiction or self-soothing types of things like alcohol or drugs. It's very common. And so these people are typically the ones who need to have a good look on the inside to work out what brings them happiness. It can't just be the shiny things on the outside that make them happy for going forward.
Great. And what do you do with them?
So we basically, because I've got the mediumship side of things as well, I help unblock any generational blocks and clear those generational layers. I help them to actually look inside and, similarly to what Dr. Leah was saying, do an assessment, work out what their intentions are, how does happy look? What does that actually mean to them? How do they have success in their own personal lives as well as be really successful on the outside?
Nice. So how did you come to this work?
Well, I actually had to integrate all of me, my home life, my corporate me, coaching me, mediumship me, to be happy and successful on the outside and the inside. And that's how I began to notice that I was working with these people, having been in the corporate world for many years. And they had this great life, but they grizzled about their personal lives. And I could see that I was actually doing that in my own personal life as well, boxing ourselves into very unhappy identities, essentially. So it's the unboxing of that. It's the integration and being all of themselves.
Beautiful. Oh, another success story of how you have created your transformation and now are helping others. So thank you for that. Now, this is the next part of the show that is one of my favorites because we get to talk about Women Speakers Association, which brought us all together here. And what I love about Women Speakers Association is that we have these amazing women to bring to you, these experts. But what I wanted to hear from each of you is what brought you to Women Speakers Association, or what value is it for you at this point? So, Dr. Leah, love to hear from you.
Sure. Definitely the networking, being able to meet so many different people, such as Jennifer and Karen, from all over the world. I mean, when I say all over the world, I mean all over the world. So it's just a wonderful opportunity to, again, the second part would be the learning piece, really learning from individuals and the opportunities for learning and growing as an individual, as a life and business coach.
Wonderful. Well, thank you. We love having you. And if you want to do what Dr. Leah has done and join WSA, you can go to joinwsa.com as well. Karen, how about you? What brought you here and what's the value for you with Women Speakers Association?
Oh, yes. And Leah, I agree with you completely. It is about the training, it's about the community. And I'm just finding that moving from training more into speaking, I mean, I didn't want to have to figure that out all on my own, right? Just because I can hold a stage training doesn't mean I know how to build a speaking business, doesn't mean I know how to do those pieces. And having access to the knowledge and people are so willing to share it and work with each other, that's unmatched. I mean, if you are a founder and you want to go faster, then go learn from the people, and they're so willing to share.
Thank you. Yes, there's a very big culture of generosity, collaboration, and connection here. So, Jennifer, how about you? What drew you here, and what's the value for you?
It's a little bit different being an executive coach, a business strategy consultant, and a practical mediumship coach and a speaker all in one. So what I've got out of the Women Speakers Association, it's really helped me hone my message and my visibility to just bring all of those together. And I do agree with Dr. Leah and Karen. The community, the training, the information has just been amazing. And I'm also going to be an author in the 2025 edition of Voices of the 21st Century, which I'm super excited about.
Well, welcome in. And so, yes, you bring up a really good point. Not only do we have those resources, the networking, the community, the support, we also have visibility opportunities like being published as a best-selling author, and more to come in 2024 and 25. So I can't wait to work with you. And for those of you watching, if you would like to do what Dr. Leah, Karen, and Jennifer have done and become premier members, or put your toe in the water, you can do that. You can start out with our Speaker Success Plan, and that is at speakersuccessplan.com. Or, like I said earlier, you can join us at joinwsa.com. So, Leah, Karen, Jennifer, thank you for sharing your heart. Thank you for the impact you're making in the world. Thank you for the contribution to being here as a premier member at Women Speakers Association. I look forward to collaborating with you and to welcoming in new members. So we will be back next week with a celebration, and enjoy your holidays. Thanks, ladies. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye, Leah. Bye, Jennifer.
Bye.